When people talk about the early Harry Potter films, you mostly hear about clever casting choices, the exquisite production design, or how well the movies did or did not capture the spirit of the books. But what you don't often hear about is the cinematography, and that's because there aren't many flashy shots that call attention to themselves.
You might do 10 takes. You might be lucky to get the one you really wanted once. Then they might have to go off to school and you may not get it again. So we would run 3 and 4 cameras.
The key was, for cinematographer John Seal, was shooting multiple cameras because I never knew when the kids were going to deliver the performance that I needed. If you look at the first film, you see it's very cutty. In other words, we cut to a close-up of a kid, and then I cut away to someone else. We were incapable of getting an entire scene in context. So John's philosophy of shooting 3 cameras basically helped me to obtain a performance here and a performance here, unlike any other way I would shoot a movie. It's almost documentary style, and John really knew how to do that.
Welcome to the Filmmaking Notebook. My name is Ryan, and I'm a filmmaker who is passionate about teaching you how to make movies. This video is the first in a series where we pick a movie and cinematically break down its best shots. Today we're closely examining the very best shots of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The first shot on our list comes roughly halfway through the film. In this scene, Harry has stumbled upon the mysterious mirror of Erised, where he sees a mysterious glimpse of his heart's deepest desire. Throughout this short sequence, we keep cutting back to this shot of Harry's reflection. This is where the filmmakers did something super creative. The standard way to edit that scene would have been to cut between this shot of Harry and his parents and a standard close-up of Harry's face with the room in the background, but that's not how the scene was designed. The close-up of Harry, which should have been something like this, is instead a shot of his reflection in the mirror. In practical terms, it's as if the camera kept looking in the same direction and just cut between the 3 shot and the close-up. But the magic here is that our brain interprets the editing as if we're seeing Harry looking directly into the mirror. This was an exquisite stylistic choice, as the mirror reflection gives off an aura of whimsy and longing and sadness without feeling off or ridiculous. The reason why this works is that we have something practical, the mirror, with all its smudges and its archaic look, to justify that whimsical feeling in our own subconscious. Our brain naturally understands that we're looking at a reflection, and therefore the slightly blurry, somber image is genuine. The next 3 shots all unintentionally fall under the same category, the wide shot. The mistake I see in nearly every student film is its over-reliance on medium shots. I get it, medium shots feel safe, they feel natural, but you gotta stop it. Okay, I'm kidding, you can use some medium shots if you promise me you'll sprinkle in some not boring shots. This next shot is what we call an establishing wide shot, and it's something I'm seeing increasingly less even in Hollywood films. Establishing shots simply, you guessed it, help establish for the audience where we are in physical space. Where are the actors in relation to the location? What's the scope, scale, and breadth of the setting? But there's another reason why establishing shots are important. While we're establishing a location, the wide shot can help with the film's pacing by adding a few extra seconds of breathing room, giving the audience time to subconsciously process the scene they've just seen, instead of whiplashing the edit from scene to scene to scene without a chance for our minds to just settle in and take in what we've just taken in. I especially love this extreme wide shot of Hagrid and the kids walking through the Forbidden Forest because it gives a sense of scale. Most of the shots that follow, while dark and mysterious, are in that medium to close-up range, so we need something that shows the grand, spooky size of the forest. This beautiful shot sets that mood exactly right. For a shot like this, you'd want as wide of a lens as possible. As the wider the lens, the more warping you get to the image, which leads to the spookiness, as we can see with the trees. The camera is placed quite low to the ground so that we can keep our heroes at the very bottom of the screen while staring endlessly up at the trees as they vanish into the shadows. The shot is lit by fake moonlight, and I mean fake in the very best way possible. There's a gorgeous blue glow that wraps all the trees and separates each one from the nightly shadows. The telltale sign that the lighting crew manufactured this light is this pocket of trees on the right side of the frame, which is brighter than the rest of the shot. This is due to the copse of trees being roughly the same distance away from the camera as the characters, and ultimately, the shot was lit so we could see them walk across the frame. The characters are also backlit with this wisp of fog rising from the background. We do not know what's back there, but our minds accept the light rising from the spooky fog as natural, and therefore the backlight also seems natural. This extra light helps separate Harry and company from the background so that they do not vanish into the shadows. And then of course we have Hagrid's lantern as a practical light in this shot, helping to guide our eyes where to look. The next shot is another wide shot, and we're right back where we started at the mirror of Erised. The wide angle here implies that we're observing Harry in a quiet moment, one that we don't wish to disturb, and the subtle movement does a couple of things. Generally, either an object within a scene should dictate the camera movement, or the emotion or energy of the scene should. We have both here. The movement here reinforces the fact that Harry has been here for some time, and its slow pace reflects Harry's deep longing that the images in the mirror might be real. Remember, there should always be a reason why the camera moves. And then, the movement reveals Dumbledore, who is arriving to have a deep conversation with Harry about the wisdom, or lack thereof, of using the mirror. The slow, wide movement here helps set the pace we need for this important scene. Okay, I promise that this is the last wide shot for this video. Seriously, wides are just so good, but I promise that when I rewatched the film to make this list, I was genuinely not just looking for wide shots. 3 of the best 5 shots in the entire movie just happened to be wides. It's like magic or something. Our second to last shot has become a piece of iconic imagery, the epic moon and lantern-lit introduction to Hogwarts Castle, the soon-to-be home of Harry and his friends, and arguably just as much as a character in the films as the students. There are several great creative choices in this shot. First is the motivated movement. The previous scene concludes with Hagrid saying, "This way to the boats!" which acts as a verbal transition to the bird's eye view of the boats, the camera then tilting up to reveal the castle and all its mysterious wonder. This movement also shows us the kids in the boats in relation to the castle, so that when we cut back and forth between their reactions and the castle, we have a frame of reference for where those boats are in proximity to Hogwarts. This is a classic example of letting a much tighter shot open into a grand wide shot, all with a single fluid motion, framing where the characters are in relation to the location. This type of movement can be difficult to pull off, but it is well worth the time spent planning and executing. Then there's the lighting. This is simply exquisite. Getting our first glimpse of Hogwarts at night when it's all mysterious and moody sets the tone that there are secrets just waiting to be discovered. The 2 main light sources are the many lanterns, which cast just enough light to give the castle shape, accentuating the key elements and the castle's contours. This is what we call lighting with practicals. Practicals are light sources that we can see in the shot, and they are part of the scene's environment. They help your eye accept why a scene is lit in a certain way, because we can see where the light is supposedly coming from. You can see in my filming right here, I have this lantern. This lantern light is not actually illuminating my face. There's another light off screen, but by seeing this orangish light here, you can kind of accept the fact that there is another light off camera that you can see. This is also true for our backlight, which is none other than the moon itself, casting a soft, gentle blue onto the castle. The moon's backlight helps separate the castle from the rest of the background, so that we can better see the contours of the towers and get a better feel for the now iconic shape of Hogwarts Castle. Plus, the blue of the moonlight and yellow of the lanterns just meld together super well. Before we get to the last shot, I'd love to invite you to drop a comment and tell us which shot from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is your favorite. It can be a shot from this list or a different one entirely. Once we've worked through all 8 Harry Potter films, we're going to create a best shots of Harry Potter video featuring just one fantastic shot from each film. But here's the cool part. The list will be totally comprised of shots that you vote for. So whichever shots receive the most comments from you all will be declared the best shot in our culminating Harry Potter video. Watch it be none of the shots on this list. Or worse, watch everyone choose this shot. On to the number 1 shot of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone. It has to be what's easily become the most famous shot of the film, and for good reason. It's incredibly simple in execution, but is a micro masterclass in how to show the audience something using specifically chosen visuals. This shot has only one thing to convey, that a certain wand has chosen Harry Potter. The camera is placed at a slightly low angle looking up at Harry, and when the camera is pointed up at a character, this is usually done to convey a sense of power, which in this shot foreshadows the mighty wizard Harry is destined to become. Notice though, that it is a very subtle low angle, as Harry is still a young boy and hasn't yet started his training. The angle of this shot merely alludes to what's to come. Coupled with the low angle is the subtle push-in by the camera. While not quite the same technique as a zoom, Harry Potter cinematographer Seamus Seal says this, which I think we can aptly apply. "I love the free-feeling camera. Slow zooms in during emotional movements to draw the audience in. This camera move helps reinforce to the audience that this is an important moment for Harry and the story." Now, of course, what this scene is most famous for is the sudden increased glow and rushing wind around Harry's head, telling him, and us, that this wand is the one. But how does the cinematographer light the scene so that it doesn't come across as simply a cheesy glow? For this shot, we once again return to practicals, lighting sources that are meant to be seen in the frame. Now, in this case, Daniel Radcliffe is not actually being lit by this lamp or this back hallway. The actual light sources are actually off camera, just like our example of my own kind of filming right here. But by placing these two lights in the frame, we're giving the illusion that the light is coming from these sources. The lamp motivating the key light and Harry's face, as well as some of the backlight, and the hallway glow motivating the rest of the backlight. It's actually a bit of a cheat. In real life, this single lantern would not throw this much light onto Harry's face, not at this angle his head is turned, and the distance it is behind him. But that's okay. Practicals are not meant to provide accurate lighting, but rather to give the audience a visual sense for where the light is originating. We see a yellow lantern and a yellow hallway glow, so our mind then accepts the yellow light cast on Harry for the shot, as well as the momentary increased glow when the wand chooses him. We don't even question why there's suddenly a glow on his face out of nowhere, without an actual light source. Of course, that source is supposed to be the wand itself in its act of choosing Harry. But this wand light avoids looking cheesy because the color of the wand light matches the practicals-based lights that are already in this shot. And then the subtle movement, dash of wind, sells the dramatic, emotional effect. And those are our shots. If this analysis was helpful, let me know in the comments which movie shots we should break down next. And until next time, go create something epic.